Right, Ford next, of course, is US based. It's headquartered in Dearborn, Michigan. That's in the sort of Rust Belt, Detroit area. Founded by Henry Ford in the turn of the last century, 1903. Market capitalization, $49.7 billion. Trades on a price earnings ratio 10.87. Dividend yield 4.82. Share price looks okay. I mean, it's going along. Production has been solid. They ran into a little bit of a wood chipper conversation with Donald Trump, though, because they were keen to move production to Mexico.
Yeah.
But now that seems to have been put on ice because of a bit of toing and froing at that level.
Yeah, and I think, Donald Trump brings a lot of uncertainty to a lot of these companies because we kind of don't know how these policies are going to play out. And
because the stupid idea about a border tax makes no sense at all, because all that means if something's made in Mexico and imported into the US and they add on 10% or something, it's just the consumer that pays more.
And especially if you look in the auto sector specifically, I think it was The Economist did a wonderful article where they actually tracked one of the parts and how many times it crosses the border to finally come to a plant that sits in America.
Global manufacturing systems.
Yeah, that's how just-in-time works. So I mean, it was literally you send this part to Mexico, it gets added onto, it goes back to the US, it becomes a seatbelt buckle, it goes back to Mexico, they put a bracket on, it goes back to the US, and it gets put into the car. So to limit the free trade there, it's insane. It'll bring the whole industry to a halt. So I can't really see it being viable, but you never know.
And it does cause a bit of a valuation overhang because it means that people worry about their sales. The F650 trucks, though, are extremely popular in the US. So those are those enormous trucks. Nowadays they're being built with aluminium frames in order to make them slightly lighter to improve fuel consumption. But it's a big seller.
It is a big seller, and it's interesting. So looking at US car sales specifically, I mean, they've been a long way ahead of expectations over the last year. The problem with that is, as you said, I mean, maybe that's because the US consumer is suddenly feeling a little bit better. Maybe a stronger dollar is helping to keep a lid on the prices, and they're managing to replace their vehicles. The problem is, if things do take a little bit of a downturn now, it's easy to pull back. You've just bought your new Ford truck. You don't need to replace it probably for another 5-6 years.
I have seen evidence, though, that people were saying in 08, 09, 2010, 2011, people are never going to buy another car because, it's like the global financial crisis.
No, of course.
But now millennials are starting, hey, you know what, I wouldn't mind having my own vehicle.
Absolutely, but again, like I said, it's an industry in a lot of flux. But I mean, again, you look at Ford. I think Ford is pricing in bad news. I mean, again, it's trading on a 10.
What does your piece of paper there say? There's sort of Ford PE.
Yeah, so it's a historic 10 PE, but a Ford PE of about 6.8.
Yeah,
so I mean,
very cheap.
it's dirt cheap.
But this is an industry which is known for volatility and earnings volatility. And in 2008, the company just about evaporated.
Absolutely. So you look at 2015, 2016, we had a 37% drop in earnings. 2017, we forecasting a recovery of 42%.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see the volatility in the earnings.
So right now, hot or not?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, you look at the debt to equity ratio, that's something that you probably have to talk about as well. It's like 490%, but then you have to sort of strip out the credit business as well. So quite complicated stock, but I'm going to go not hot.
Not hot.
Not hot.
Not.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with you on that one too.